We were invited to Dave McCormick's house. He's a United States Senate candidate running in Pennsylvania, very important state, against an incumbent, a good guy named Bob Casey, who's also an advocate for the fentanyl issue. We're delighted that Dave invited us to his home, and he was very, very gracious. He's a war hero. He's a real legitimate, authentic guy, and he's got 6 daughters, and he was very concerned about the fentanyl issue. We were glad to hear that, and we went to his house with bereaved parents, 2 couples, and a mom who lost her only son, Michael, and we let him know the real human toll of losing a kid to fentanyl, which is gutting, to say the least, of your entire personality. That bullet takes out not only the kid, it takes out the parents as well. We let him know the human toll, times 5,000 plus in Pennsylvania, where they rank number 4 in the United States in terms of deaths. And it's time to get real serious about educating the youth about this fentanyl poisoning. And so we were there. We wanted to make sure he was on board with our advocacy, which is to warn every high schooler in Pennsylvania about the dangers of fentanyl. We have a Pennsylvania director named Janet Heberling, who was on television advocating for awareness for her daughter, Brianna, and his opponent, the incumbent senator, Bob Casey, saw her, Janet, on television, reached out to her and said, any way I can help get behind this, I want to involve my campaign with you. If you back up a little bit and look at what these politicians are looking at in terms of how important it is to the voters, Bloomberg did a survey not long ago that 8 in 10 swing state voters, of which Pennsylvania is one, are basing the fentanyl issue. Whoever has their pencil sharpened the most on fentanyl is going to get their vote. And that is over issues like abortion, climate control, the wars in Gaza, and Ukraine. Fentanyl ranks higher. Not the border, just fentanyl, because people really know that's the thing that is slaughtering the youth of this country and this state. So they need to own this issue. And we know that we want to get the message out to the kids. So it's a win-win. Advocacy for fentanyl, opening up schools, getting awareness. There were 3 networks at Dave McCormick's house this morning covering it. I knew that this was a big race, and Pennsylvania and the whole presidential election could hinge on it, and the Senate majority could hinge on it. And it's a challenged position because it's going against an incumbent. I reached out to Eric at the McCormick campaign. They said, we've checked you out. We've looked at your website, fentanylfathers.org. We think you're really good, really legit. We want to work with you. We'd like to have you out for a roundtable. Do you think you could help us put one together? And I said, absolutely. I'd be happy to. So I started reaching out to Janet and other bereaved parents, and Texas Pictures decided to hold a listening summit for storytellers to come out, which is what they've been doing, barnstorming across America, hearing the stories of bereaved parents. And my understanding is they got quite a following. So the parents were real and raw, and they got down and dirty about how they all found their children. Now, in my case, when I lost my son, Drew, in 2013, it was a phone call in the middle of the night. 2 phone calls from my son, Jack, telling me Drew's dead, literally changing my life. These 3 parents who came, discovered their kid in a parking lot, at a hotel, at a friend's house. And all 3 of them discovered the horrifying reality of walking in and seeing their completely deceased child, to their shock, and then having to tell their other spouse about it. And they fought through tears, and to tell it, it was riveting storytelling. And that's the kind of interest level that holds an audience, an authentic audience, like a high school audience. They know authentic from fake. And when a bereaved parent walks in with a story like that, they're locked in. And they can't argue with the fact that we have the receipts, our dead kids, and nobody argues with us that this problem is real. And so those stories were told around a table in a little over an hour. Dave McCormick listened with great intensity and empathy, and I actually really appreciated his response when he was done. We turned it over to him after he heard it. He goes, "I'm physically sick from listening to this." And I don't blame him. I would have been as well. It was tough to stomach.